These are some of my thoughts on the Britain Tourette's mystery documentary that aired on Channel 4 just a few days ago. Now, I just want to start off by saying that the tickers in the documentary, the people with tics in the documentary, did absolutely amazing. I am very proud that these people were willing to go on screen and share their story. But unfortunately, I feel like there are flaws in the documentary, but these flaws are nothing to do with the people with tics involved. It's more to do with the overall bias of the people who produced the documentary. The main issue that I had with it was that it kind of made it sound like Tourette's and other tic conditions are contagious, and the problem is that adds to the stigma, and I feel like it can make people afraid to come near tickers in public. It can make people afraid to be friends with people with Tourette's in case they catch it. It could make employment more difficult for people with Tourette's because people, again, might be afraid of catching it. This really harms the lives of people with tics. As well as this, some of the questions asked to some of the content creators with tics it sounded as if they were trying to make them sound like clout chasers when they're not. They're just advocates doing a good thing and raising awareness. I can tell you now that the awareness they raised has helped me immensely, and it's made people stop giving me dirty looks and stuff because now people don't make so many inaccurate assumptions. It also didn't show the difference between Tourette's and functional tics because they are actually different things. Woohoo! And all tics are valid, it's just they have a bit of a different cause. I feel like it would have been more helpful for them to clearly explain the difference. People with tics don't need more isolation, more stigma. We've worked so hard to get rid of this stigma, and that documentary doesn't help. But again, it's not the fault of the people with tics involved. I think the people who created the documentary just had a little bit of a bias, and I was a little bit disappointed that immune-mediated tics weren't discussed, the possibility of pans or pandas playing a role, some sort of infection-induced tics or other sort of immune-mediated tic from something disturbing a person's immune system potentially, even if it was only touched upon slightly. It would have been good for awareness to include that, and it would have been good to include other possibilities other than like lockdown, stress, and social media. It would have been good to potentially touch upon a more biological cause, and again, that wouldn't apply to everybody, but it would be interesting if they would have just touched upon that because that can also be a cause of sudden onset tics.